So if it's not about freedom from suffering, what's the point of non-duality? What's the point of the teachings at all? There's kind of two ways you can look at this. One is that there's no point. The point isn't the point. The other thing, the other way you can look at it, is that you can use the basic principles to reduce suffering quite a bit, to reduce confusion quite a bit. But these are just like basic, good psychological practices. Many of the ideas and concepts of non-duality have been worked into our basic how to be a healthy human being discussions and rhetoric and culture that we live in. Try to be in the moment more. You know, don't be so attached to your misery, to your thoughts. Take time to just sit and be in the ground of being. There's a place in all of us, no matter how bad things are or how good things are, frankly, where really nothing is happening. We have a spot in our brains, in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls that's always peaceful and always calm, and you can access that. It's very, very healthy. It reduces high blood pressure, helps you sleep better, turns you into a better human being. So that's one point. The thing that I'm trying to say is that if you are turning the idea of reducing suffering into being completely free of suffering, you're setting for yourself this unrealistic goal that you then also probably project onto other people all the time. And it causes more suffering, causes more confusion. So, just give up. Forget about non-duality. Just go, look for a good therapist. Look for good teachings on how to be more effective, how to be more prosperous, how to, live a better life, how to have a better relationship. I mean, we are just bombarded with this information now, and you can do all of that completely free of any sort of non-duality goals or non-duality teachings at all. And it's one of the benefits that Eastern mysticism has given to our Western world, that we have all these really great ways of looking at who we are in a very basic way. Point one, turn it to reducing your misery, your anxiety, and that will be very beneficial to your life. The other point is, so what's the point? There is no point. And that's kind of the main goal of non-duality. Like, who are you? You're not your misery. And that's what usually the freedom from suffering is referring to, the fact that when you find out who you are not your suffering. That is something just completely, it happens in the world. You don't have to, if you are completely awake and enlightened, you will not be attached to your suffering. A very dramatic, different shift happens. And so I guess, for me, what would I say? What's the point? The point is to actually reach that state where you're not doing any techniques at all to be free from suffering, to be in the moment. You have found this place that is naturally relaxed. naturally, I don't want to say unattached because, we're back to that whole sociopathic idea, but it naturally real, very, very real, a real human being, a natural, normal person without, all these psychoses and problems that we have today. There is still what we could technically term suffering. You're just not attached to it, but in a natural, normal way. It's not like something that you try to do. You try to not be attached. Because being a natural human being, being a human being, we're not made wrong. Everything about us, our misery, our suffering, our happiness, our love, everything about us is a useful human being thing. There's not parts of us that are undesirable. We all got to live in the world, right? But you can, so the point of non-dual teachings is that you can get to this spot, to this place where you know who you are. As a whole nother rant I could do about the unattainability of enlightenment. I think I will do that rant. That would be fun. But for right now, suffering, don't worry about it. Don't have that be a goal. Non-dual teachings are there to bring you to a completely different state of being. Let's go there.